Hey everybody, it's Keelin and welcome back to my channel where I teach you how to sell, succeed, and stand out as a personal trainer. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why I became a personal trainer and how I got started and how I'm able to be incredibly successful to give you some inspiration and some insight. So if you're looking to become a successful personal trainer, make sure you stay for this entire video so you know exactly what steps you need to take and the mentality that you need to have to go along with it. Also, before we get into it, if you can do me an amazing favor and just go ahead and like this video, I will be internally grateful for that. And if you can go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications, therefore you will be alerted every single time I post new content. So let's get started. So guys, for me, it all started back in 2010, and this is when I graduated high school. And I barely graduated high school. I mean, I was no stellar student. I was barely passable. I had to convince my geometry teacher to pass me with a C just so I can graduate my senior class. And with all of that being said, I just knew school wasn't for me. And I needed to find a career that I was passionate about and that I could build incredible success with without needing school. And I had a personal trainer friend, his name was Yan, and I'll never forget him. He told me that I should look into getting my personal training certification because all I have to do is take one test and I could make, $60,000 a year, which sounded amazing to me, being 18 years old and potentially making up to $60,000 a year or even up to $100,000 just sounded incredible. So I went ahead and I purchased my NASM certification and I studied for about 6 months. I took the test twice, failed it twice, and on the third time I finally passed. So once I passed that, I applied at multiple gyms and I finally took on a position at New York Sports Club. And I just remember being given my personal trainer shirt, and my fitness manager, she told me to just go walk the floor and find clients and sell. And my quota was like, I don't know, $3,000. So first of all, I didn't know how to sell and I didn't even know what a quota was. So I was just given this shirt. I was told to just go out there and sell myself and somehow recuperate $3,000 off of the floor when nobody even knew who I was. Then I said, okay, I'll try this. So I'll tell you, within the first week, it was really tough. Everybody shot me down. I went up to every single person and I was just like, do you want to buy personal training? And I'm over here thinking, because I'm newly NASM certified and I have this big old certification with a big old fancy title, that people are just going to throw their credit cards at me. It was not like that whatsoever. Not one single person ever came up to me and just threw me their credit card and said, charge me for 48 sessions. It doesn't happen like that. And so I kind of was just hit deep in the heart because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to work for this money. So my mindset completely changed. I told myself I wasn't just going to let whatever I spent at that time, maybe it was around $600 for my NASM certification, give or take, but I just wasn't in the financial situation to let $600 get thrown down the toilet. So I had to somehow recoup my money and plus some to make it worth my time. So one day I came into the gym and I was there when the gym opened. I believe the gym opened at around 5 in the morning. And I stayed from 5 a.m. till the gym closed, which is around 11 p.m. And I did this Monday through Friday. On Saturdays, I showed up at 7 a.m. when it opened and I stayed till close at 8 p.m. and I repeated that on Sunday. I did that for 3 weeks. My job I gave myself was to introduce myself to every single person at that gym. I said one person has to buy from me. And if one person doesn't buy from me within a 3-week period, this job isn't for me and I'm going to back out and I'm just going to figure something else out. Now, something really incredible happened within 3 weeks. My first week, I said hello to every single person that walked into that gym. I said hello to everybody that was on the cardio deck. I helped anybody and everybody in the weight section. I corrected people's forms and I was just giving out very friendly and authentic advice. And so people really enjoyed that. by my week 2, people started coming up to me and asking me questions. So as people started to find me and ask me how to use a specific machine or how to use a specific cardio equipment, I would go up there and I would show them how it's done, and I would simply ask, how are you doing? Are you getting to your fitness goals? Do you feel a little bit stuck? And just because I was building that relationship, people were super into getting to know me, and they started to trust me a little bit more with the information they were about to provide to me. So I heard them through, and a couple people would tell me that they're stuck and they feel like that they can't lose any more weight, or they feel like that they can't get any stronger, or they can't gain any more weight. Some people told me that they are always falling off the wagon and having to remotivate themselves. And so I thought, and nobody taught me this, but it was just kind of common sense. And I'm like, well, I can help you lose weight. And I'm like, well, and I said, I have a certification. I can try to help you, gain weight. And I also told people that needed a little bit more accountability. I was just like, listen, it just sounds to me like you need a little bit of motivation. Why don't we meet tomorrow, or why don't we meet the next day, and let me give you a complimentary workout. Let's see if you like my workout, and if you like me, let's consider hiring me. Within that second week, I probably met, and I kid you not, about 30 to 40 clients, because I really put in a lot of time that first week and just driving relationships from the moment that gym opened to the moment that gym closed. I will never forget those times. So the second week came around, and I had about 30 to 40 people do a complimentary workout with me. And within those 30 to 40 people, over half of them converted to being paying personal training clients. And excuse me. And so I just built all of that value, and I gave them an amazing workout, and I really just utilized my motivational cues, and I corrected their form, and I gave them professional advice. And I said, listen, I definitely believe that you need to hire me at least once or twice per week so I can help you get to your goals. And because I was authentic and genuine about it, and I've already built this relationship with these people, they trusted my professional reasoning, and they signed up. So within my third week, I had around 22 paying clients. I had clients that purchased anywhere between 8 sessions to 48 sessions. And I noticed by week 4, I was just getting too busy, and I could not take on any more clients. So I took on maybe 10 more people. And now at this time, I have a full book schedule. I'm booking about 35 hours per week. And at that time, they weren't allowing trainers to work anything more than 35 hours per week. So I had to start turning down business, and I hate turning down business. So what I started to do was I begun selling clients for other personal trainers, and I would actually receive a commission from all of these people. So even though I wasn't necessarily training them, I made X amount of commission off of every package I sold, and I gave them to trainers that I felt could really be compatible with them. And that's really what I did in New York Sports Club for the first maybe 6 months I was there. I was there for 6 months, and I just needed to be a little bit more challenged. I felt like I wasn't being any more challenged there. There was no more room to grow. They weren't giving me promotions at that time. And so I became a personal trainer at a fitness and wellness center. And that was very challenging because I did not know how to work with people who had special conditions. I didn't understand, how to train people who had, who've gone through knee replacement surgery. I didn't understand how to train people with congestive heart failure. I didn't understand how to train people who maybe have heart stents, so it was all very new to me. I even worked with somebody that had an oxygen tank, I'm like, oh my God, what do I do with somebody that has an oxygen tank? So I was at the Fitness and Wellness Center for about 2 years. And within those 2 years, I was consistently Trainer of the Month because I was selling packages. I started off obviously as Tier 1, and I became Tier 2, which is the highest trainer within my first 4 months. Because once again, I just sold. I had a natural gravity of just selling everybody that I met because I had a system. And I want to teach you that system on how to sell clients. It's a very specific system, but when you implement it correctly and you understand how it works, you're going to close more leads. And that's why I'm making this video, to tell you that my system's working. My system has worked for me since day one. My system has worked for me for coaching clients. My system has worked for me for even just selling clients and giving them to other trainers. And it's the same thing. I just repeat the same thing all of the time. So at Robert Wood Johnson, I became tier 2. I also had like the highest amount of sessions. I had the highest amount of packages bought from me. I was trainer of the year all 2 years I was over at those locations. They put me in multiple locations, but instead of rambling on about that anymore, I just realized I had the gift of sales. And from there, I was recruited to a fitness management position at some other company. I excelled in my sales technique there, and so they made me into a floating manager where I went to multiple locations and I sold for them. And then I became a district manager and I became a regional manager. And so here I am today, 10 years later, and I'm doing pretty well. And all I have to say is, and the reason why I made this video is because in the fitness industry, you can be incredibly successful no matter what your background is. My background, I don't have an education. I just have some certifications under my belt that got me here, because you need certifications to be in this industry as a liability precaution. But I'm not a student. And so this is an amazing career for those of you that don't necessarily want to go to college for whatever your reasons may be. And it's a thriving career. You can honestly make as much money as you want. And if you want to make $40,000 a year, then you can work a $40,000 a year schedule. If you want to make $100,000 a year, then you're going to have to work a $100,000 a year schedule. So it really just depends on how much work you're willing to commit and where you want to go. So there's always a time in a personal trainer's career where they either stay a personal trainer or they become a fitness manager, and that's the route that I took. And now I'm taking it a step further and I've become a consultant, and more specifically a sales consultant for personal trainers. If there's nothing that I believe more, is I believe that all personal trainers can succeed. All of them. If they mentally want to succeed, you can succeed. But unfortunately, they do not teach you how to sell in your certification books. And that's where I come in, and that's where I'm going to be your buffer. So instead of just getting a certification, and instead of just being mad that you're not getting clients, learn how to sell and utilize your certification for programming purposes, but you have to learn how to sell yourself in order to further yourself in the career. So if you're interested in learning how to sell, go ahead and send me an email. I've put it down in my description, and I'd be more than happy to just even chat with you, even if you don't hire me right now. If you just need a little bit of advice, I'm more than happy to give you complimentary advice. I also give complimentary advice all day on my Instagram, and I'm going to put my Instagram title right here. Do you see it? Go ahead and follow that account. You're going to get content every single day, 2 times per day, something educational related to personal training sales and the mindset of a personal trainer. So don't be afraid to stay being a trainer. Don't be afraid to commit to being a personal trainer. There is money that you can definitely make. You just have to have a strong mindset. You have to have willpower, and you have to know how to sell yourself. Go ahead and write in the comments if you're still here, and I just want to know what you're struggling with. And I'm going to comment every single person that comments on this video, and I'm going to give you some complimentary advice, and I hope it helps you. So with that being said, I hope you're well and I hope you're safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.